Yeah, this is not BattleBots, guys.
I'm not good. Yeah, I'm not good. Sorry.
Honestly, we're going to call those basically as we see them on the field. I'm not going to tell you something specific about there's this line that you can't cross, because that would be unfair. It would be something that I'm not positive we could hold to, right? Depending on the situation. Again, this isn't about driving aggressively. This isn't about, I mean, if we start seeing that and it's a pattern of behavior, that kind of falls into that second thing I mentioned at the first of this conversation, right? Okay. Yes.
What are the points penalties during auto? Like, are they different from tele-auto?
Yeah. They were having some rough. Yeah, the scoring is a lot harder this year.
We are streaming.
Will the new rule of no scoring with the single sleeve be enforced? Or no scoring with the single sleeve cone be enforced?
I'm not exactly sure which one you're talking about. The signal isn't a scoring number, so I mean, it doesn't ever score.
I know
Never has.
the cone with the single sleeve.
Yeah, that is the signal. That has never scored. It will never score. It's not a scoring item. Okay? All right. Somebody pass.
When you say moving an inch, do you mean like one motion or like over time?
It's cumulative. Okay? Half an inch one direction, half an inch another direction, that's still an inch. Okay? Who else?
So, to clarify, if a robot is sitting on a ground junction, do they count?
If your robot is sitting on a ground junction and somebody else moves in to score, then they need to move immediately. Okay? It's going to start a 5-second count. This is normal. It's going to start a 5-second count. That does not mean that they get to sit there for 5 seconds and then start moving. They have 5 seconds to get 36 inches, that's 3 feet, away from the position they were in and out of the way of the other bot, or it is a penalty. Okay? Next. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming.
Are you able to score your own cone? Let's say the opponent has placed a cone on a ground junction. Are you able to score your cone on top of that?
Yeah, because a ground junction is just like any other junction.
All right, just double checking. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Can you score your alliance beacon?
It's a scoring location like any other.
Just making sure.
Yep. I think you were first.
Yeah, so I'll have to follow along.
Okay, so in the first Q&A forum, there's a rule about grasping. We just wanted a little bit of clarification on what counts as grasping.
Grasping is anytime you have 2 points of contact on the junction at the same time in the same plane. Okay? Which is different than bracing, which is a single point of contact on that, on that junction. If you need more clarification, talk to me. But that's what the rule is specifically. Yes.
Can you score the beacon on the other team on your line?
You can score either beacon from your alliance, not your opponent's beacon, which is what I think I just heard.
No.
Okay.
I'm red. I can score the red beacon.
All right. We do need to kind of wrap this up. We're kind of running out of time. If there are more questions like this that come up in the match, that's kind of what the question box is for. That being said, you go, and then we'll be done.
Sorry, I guess quickly. When you have a beacon on top of a cone, I know I understand that the cone has to go in first, but when you grab the cone to pick
Yes, because you're actually allowed to control one cone and one beacon at the same time. They are two different types of object, and there is no control penalty.
So in autonomous is all
Dude, we gotta go.
four matches to one.
Nobody answers questions all day. Is that
Ken's pushing to be done.
I thought
All right.
Opening starts in 5 minutes. Everybody in the arena, we need to get in the stands for 5 minutes for opening ceremony.
Thanks, everybody. Great questions. Let's have some fun.
or Kirby came. I'll do it. I'll be the bad guy. It's my gear.
Okay, I would like to issue a reminder that there are roped-off areas at the front of Section A and Section N. Those are to protect the cameras and the electronics that are in those sections. Please do not cross over the ropes. Please do not. Just respect the ropes. The row in front of each section has been left open so that the people who are working can take a moment and relax between sessions, or members of the team can be on the floor, have a place to sit. But please be respectful and sit in those seats, because if you stand, you will block the camera. And all you have to do to know if you're blocking the camera,
Here's the
look up at
rest
the board.
of the bad news.
Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Thank you for flying FTC Airlines. Please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are still upright in locked positions.
You could probably just hold on to it and announce it whenever it's Why are you not the announcer? It will not let me talk.
Shouldn't give you a microphone. It never ends well.
What do you want? Is that one? What do you want? Okay. 115. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep it scheduled at 7 cycles. 7-minute cycles. It wasn't connected. I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, yeah. If you're on time, qualification is on 5:59. On it, on it, on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome ceremony will be in 2 minutes. We are running behind. We will start without you if you are not in the stands.
No, I have no clue what the power cabinet
No, I did not. It would be in the state packet. Yeah, you can check the state packet or the full qualifier list. The full qualifier list will have a state tab on the bottom. So that's we trying? I did. They want one of the two. Sorry about that. I was on the call. No, no, I'm talking to my peers right now.
Please take your seats quickly and avoid any of the roped off areas.
You guys can relax for now, but during opening ceremony, after a while, ceremony is over, I need Tootie to come over to the other side. And then you can keep it going. Once you start tuning, I want to make sure that we are not 3 minutes. We give each team like 3 or 2 minutes. And if they're not here by that time, we need something else.
Lee, are you ready? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Southern Utah University and First Tech Challenge Utah Championship. My name is Laurel Dodgen. I am your program delivery partner. I also handle recruitment and retention here for engineering, computer science, cybersecurity, technology, and mathematics. So if you have questions about that, I can answer those questions as well. Okay, first of all, thank you all for your patience. As those of you who were here last year know, we did not get into the space like we usually do. Usually we're here on Friday night. There was a gymnastics meet last night, and we couldn't set up until this morning. Okay, other than some very good volunteers who were here until 12:30 starting setup. So thank you to those volunteers. And thank you to the volunteers who were here at 6 a.m. doing the setup. And also thank you to those of you who have jumped in at the last minute. We are going to try to get this done. We love you all, but I know you have a lot of miles to travel, and we are going to try and get through this as quick as we can. So we have recruited extra referees to help us get through the matches. Who was at Park City last week? All right, guys, you know the drill. We're going to do it again, okay? So please be on top of things. Schedules are being printed right now. We are going to try to get ahead of schedule, so be aware of what's going on. All right, everyone has programs. There's more programs over here. The streaming information is in the program, okay? So grab that. The shirts, I always get asked this, our extra volunteer shirts will be sold after lunch. They will be $10. Just general announcements. Flair Robotics is here. He's actually our game announcer today. He is doing a poll right now to decide whether or not to print the swerve drive he has invented in 3D parts or metal. And this is going to be something that you guys can buy after he gets it printed or carved out. So you guys can decide what material you want it made out of. Also, check the program for information on the Wasatch Mountain Invitational and the trip to Boston. You'll also see some things after lunch about a fundraiser for an orphanage in Costa Rica. And if you can't contribute to that, please help publicize it. We also have a young entrepreneur here with us today, right over here. She is selling snacks and water, so please encourage her in her dreams to go into business. All right. Okay, last things. The very front row here, you can sit on if your team is competing at that moment. You have to sit. Okay, otherwise, everyone on the internet's going to get a really good view of your backside, and we don't want to do that. Okay? So have a seat. Also, please do not eat on the court. You're welcome to eat, drink, whatever, up in the stands. But please do not eat on the court. Water only there. Okay, so I got to switch my paper just a second. And I forgot the one thing that I'm holding in my hand. One last announcement. All right, who remembers the rubber ducks from last year? This year we have lightning bolts, okay? So the way this works is at random points during the day, our referees or our FTA or someone is going to start throwing these at people, okay? If they have a number on the back, go over to pit admin and get a prize bag, okay? They're all numbered, okay? So there you go on that. Also, team pins for the game this year are over at pit admin. Now, I've done most of this. As you know, FTC is all about giving people opportunities to have fun and learn. This year, we have opened a new opportunity for you to take an active part in opening ceremony and award announcements. So, without further ado, here is TWCA with Overclocked to introduce your day.
Welcome to Power Play, presented by Raytheon Technologies, a part of the first Energized season presented by Qualcomm.
FIRST is a global robotics community preparing young people for the future. FIRST engages students in grades pre-K through 12 in our suite of STEM programs. FIRST LEGO League, FIRST Robotics Competition, and of course,
FIRST Tech Challenge! FIRST Tech Challenge started in 2005 and we've grown to more than 6,000 teams in more than 25 countries. This continues the transformative impact of FIRST programs, and you are a part of this movement. All of you are helping make this program possible for the next generation of innovators in this room. Thank you.
We're going to have a blast today. I can't wait to see how everything comes together, as 36 teams have been working hard to design and build their robots for this season's challenge, Power Play.
As you know from tackling the challenge this year, STEM skills have never been so important to solving the issues facing the world today. And FIRST Tech Challenge is forming the leaders and innovators of tomorrow by getting these kids involved in these disciplines early.
But remember, FIRST doesn't end with high school. Being a FIRST alumni means access to education and career discovery opportunities, connection to scholarships and employees, and a place in the FIRST community for life.
Learn more about all of the ways to make the most of your FIRST experience at firstinspires.org/alumni.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, and I am turning because, yeah, this is where the camera's at. Okay, sorry, I'm not ignoring you guys on purpose. All right, so I am thrilled to announce that we have several FTC alum here today volunteering with us. Actually, one of them now works for me and has been crucial in pulling all of this together. Where is he? Where is he? The hair! Yeah. Mike has been your main contact this year and has brought a lot of this together, so thank you so much, Mike. You have definitely risen to the challenge. All right, so where's my other alumni? Give me a wave. Some were here earlier, some were here later. Okay, we got you through the stands. We have alumni pins for you at Pit Admin. Please go. And now, I don't know, Ken and I were talking earlier. We've actually seen you guys all the way through, some of these guys all the way since 7th grade. But for some of you, Power Play will be your final season. I don't cry, why am I doing this? We would like to take a moment to recognize those who will soon be FIRST alumni. So please stand, my seniors. As of today, you are becoming FIRST alumni. Please visit Pit Admin, get your pin. Welcome to your new team that you can be on next year. All these people out here. So thank you. And now I'm going to turn your attention back to the big screen for more from your fellow competitors.
Each year, FIRST Tech Challenge creates new and exciting games for teams to learn and compete in. In this year's season of First Energize, presented by Qualcomm, teams around the world will reimagine the future of sustainable energy and power their ideas forward. In the 2022 through 2023 season game Power Play presented by Raytheon Technologies, First Tech Challenge participants will compete in an energy-driven game and test the limits of performance, efficiency, and endurance as they power their innovations forward. Let's take a look at this year's season challenge.
Welcome to the First Tech Challenge 2022-2023 season game. Power Play, presented by Raytheon Technologies. A team consists of up to 2 driver operators, a human player, a coach, and a robot. Each match is played with 4 randomly selected teams, 2 per alliance. But each alliance is only allowed 1 human player. Your opponent for one match may be your partner for another. Robots must be built from materials specified in the game manual and fit within an 18-inch sizing tool, but may expand after the match begins. The game element is a 4-inch diameter by 5-inch tall plastic cone. There are 60 cones, 30 red and 30 blue. Teams may also use their custom-designed beacons in gameplay. The game is played on a 12-foot square playing field with a foam tile floor and 1-foot-high walls. Various sized junctions are placed across the field, including 9 ground junctions. In addition, there are 8 low, 4 medium, and 4 high junctions. These junctions are mounted on flexible springs and might not be perfectly vertical. Taped-off substations are centered on both sides. In each corner are taped-off terminals. In the front and back of the field are taped stripes to help robots find cone stacks. There are 4 signals placed on the field. 4 unique navigation images are positioned on the field walls. And outside of the field are the red and blue alliance stations. Before each match, cones are stacked in the substation storage areas and inside the playing fields. Custom beacons are also placed in the substation storage areas. Teams place their robots on the field, touching the wall between the substations and terminals. Each team may preload 1 cone into their robot. The 3-sided signal is then randomized. Each image references a specific parking target during match play. If a team designs their own signal sleeve, it can be used to gain additional points. The field and players are now ready. The match begins with a 30-second autonomous period. During this period, there are a number of ways for teams to score using only pre-programmed instructions and sensor inputs. Each cone secured on a junction earns points. 2 points for the ground junction, 3 points for the low junction, 4 points for the medium junction, and 5 points for the high junction. A robot parked in their Alliance substation or terminal earns 2 points. If a robot's sensors correctly read the randomized signal, it can park in the corresponding signal zone to earn 10 points. However, parking in the proper signal zone shown by a custom signal sleeve will earn 20 points. Following the autonomous period is the 2-minute driver-controlled period. During this period, human players may introduce new cones into the substations. Each cone that is placed in its matching color terminal earns 1 point. Securing cones in junctions earns the same points as during the autonomous period. 2 points for the ground junction, 3 points for the low, 4 points for medium, and 5 points for the high junction. The last 30 seconds of the driver-controlled period is the end game. Robots may continue scoring cones, but there are also ways to earn bonus points. Alliances earn points for owning a junction. This can be accomplished in 2 ways. An alliance owns the junction if their colored cone is scored on top. This earns an additional 3 points. The junction can also be owned by capping it with a beacon. This earns 10 additional points and prevents the opposing alliance from recapturing that junction. An alliance earns 20 points by completing a circuit. This is done by owning a continuous path of junctions from one terminal to the other. And if a robot is parked in either of their alliance terminals, it earns 2 points. All cones scored during the autonomous period count again if they remain in place at the end of the match. There are many ways to score in Power Play, but there are also rules that if not followed will deduct points from your alliance. For example, robots may not descore opposing alliance cones or beacons. A robot may not block or interfere with an opposing alliance attempting to score. A robot must be completely outside of a substation in order to score a cone or a beacon. Robots may control or possess only 1 cone and 1 beacon at a time. Scoring elements may not be launched, and robots may not deliberately remove game elements from the playing field. This has been a brief summary of this season's game, Power Play, presented by Raytheon Technologies. For complete rules, please read both game manuals and check the Q&A forum. And always remember the most important rule in First Tech Challenge, gracious professionalism. Good luck, teams, and have a great season.
I believe we're supposed to be hearing
Now
more
I'd like to
from
talk
the
about-
competitors. Otherwise, I'm just going to start talking. Oh, there we
Now
go.
I'd like to talk about a very important group of people, our judges. These individuals have the difficult job of singling out the best of the best from today's teams. They've already been busy this morning interviewing teams and reviewing engineering notebooks. They'll be in the pits watching matches and then deliberating later today. We look forward to seeing the outcome of their hard work at the awards ceremony this afternoon. Let's give them a big round of applause for their dedication.
Let's talk about our first technical advisors.
RFDs know the ins and outs of the robot control system we use to run this competition and are key to keeping this event moving smoothly.
They ensure the robots are running properly in the field. Thank you, FTAs.
And finally, I'd like to introduce our referees. Our refs have the difficult job of ensuring everyone is playing by the rules. As in all sports, the rulings are final and there will be no reruns or video replays. Please help us stick to the schedule by respecting their decisions and following the appropriate challenge process. Thank you, referees.
Last, but certainly not least, we'd like to thank our mentors and coaches who are critical to your learning experience and your team's success.
Many of you are also mentoring teams from one of our other FIRST programs.
First Lego League.
And First Robotics Competition.
And may even be FIRST alumni yourselves.
On behalf of all FIRST,
a big thank you to all mentors and coaches.
You really are the champions of the game!
Now here's the general schedule for the day. In just a few moments, we'll begin our qualification matches. Following the qualifications, we'll move on to the alliance selection, where the top-ranked teams will choose their alliance partners for this afternoon's elimination matches. And finally, after we have crowned a champion on the playing field, we'll begin our awards ceremony to close out this exciting day.
All right, before we begin our matchers, please rise. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Twaka, Overclocked, Roland Hall, and Enigma for doing that this morning for us. Now, before we begin our matches, please rise for the singing of our national anthem, sung by Jenny Lee Cannon, FTC alum of Titanium Knights.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I'm DJ Tetrageezer, and I want you guys to give it up for today's fabulous game announcer, Travis Anderson.
Hello, everybody, and we'd like to thank our wonderful DJ here, DJ Electro Geezer. All right, I've been doing FTC for 4 years. Just as a little introduction, we're going to try and keep our matches here on schedule, and just letting everyone know, matches are out. Match schedule is out right now, and we're going to be starting our first match in 5 minutes. So please let's hurry and get right on schedule. Thank you. All right, teams for qualification match number 1, please take to the field. On Red Alliance, we'll have 8400 and their partner 21977. On Blue Alliance, we'll have 22180 and their partner 22524. Please take to the field.
Everybody's got the right stuff. You might as well charge it. We'll need it sooner or later.
All right, let's get our first match underway. Blue Alliance, are we ready? Thumbs up. Red Alliance, are we ready? Thumbs up. Refs, are we ready? Scorekeeper. All right, let's randomize. All right, we'll be in zone 2. Okay. Also, just a reminder, please do not walk through the barriers or put your feet or anything inside of that area. All right, let's get this match underway in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we have all 4 robots moving. Red Alliance just missed their preloaded cone. Blue Alliance Red Alliance also misses their other preloaded cone. Red Alliance has grabbed a cone off the cone stack. And looks like all 4 robots have parked, ready for teleop.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All right, now we're in teleop. We have 3 out of 4 robots moving. Blue Alliance is getting a cone picked up. And Blue Alliance is the first to attempt a score, which they get on the high junction. Blue Alliance, their other Blue Alliance partner is going for a mid junction, and they balance it onto that mid junction. All right, Blue Alliance gets another one onto a mid junction. Blue Alliance gets that cone onto that junction, and now they have 2 on that middle. Blue Alliance is trying to score on that low junction there, which they just barely miss. Red Alliance is going for their first score on the junction. Red Alliance scores in the corner here. Meanwhile, Blue Alliance is still getting those cones onto those junctions there. Red Alliance gets another cone into their terminal. All right, we are now in endgame. Blue Alliance is the first to get their capstone onto a junction. Red Alliance is following suit. And Blue Alliance gets both of their beacons onto junctions, and that's the end of the game. Congratulations, both teams. Match scores will be announced after the next game. So match 1, for instance, will be announced after match 2 has concluded. All right, while we're waiting for field 1 to finish up, we're going to move to our field 2. On Red Alliance, we have 15413 and their partner 8641. On Blue Alliance, we have 16265 and their teammate 16091. All right, Red Alliance, are we ready? Initialized. Blue Alliance, are we ready? All right, let's randomize. Bot's gonna do that. All right, we'll be in zone 2. All right, refs, are we ready? Scorekeeper, are we ready? All right, let's begin this match in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we have all 4 robots moving. Masters and Enigma have scored cones onto those junctions there. Red Alliance has scored a couple cones already. Enigma is just barely missing some of their cones on their cone stack. Masters is going for another score. Unfortunately, their signal cone has gotten in the way, and they've parked as long as their teammate. And all robots have parked.
Pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All right, we're heading into our teleop now. Blue Alliance is the first to get a cone up onto a junction. Red Alliance gets some more cones onto their junctions. Meanwhile, the Toaster Medics are loading some cones that are being put in their terminal there, and they're loading them as fast as they can onto that high junction. Masters gets one onto a low junction. And Toaster Medics gets a cone onto that high junction there. Enigma gets their first cone up onto a high junction there, taking control of it from Red Alliance. Meanwhile, TWCA has a cone in their claw, and they're looking to score it on that high junction, which they do, taking the junction from Red Alliance. Enigma takes the large junction there from Red Alliance. Red Alliance goes to claim it back. Enigma also steals another high junction from Red Alliance. Red Alliance gets a cone into their terminal, and we're now in endgame. Blue Alliance is in control of all four, and Toaster Medics gets their beacon onto that high junction there. Enigma goes for another junction steal, which they get. And that's the end of the match. Good job, both teams. All right, and now that this match is over, we have our scores in for match number 1. And it is a Blue Alliance victory, 114 to 59. Congratulations, both teams. All right, and while we're getting that field cleaned up, let's move over back here to field number 1, and let's introduce our teams. On Red Alliance, we have 10373 and their teammate 11002. On Blue Alliance, we have 21895. And their teammate 21765. All right, Blue Alliance, are we ready? Red Alliance, are we ready? All right, refs. Red Alliance, are we ready? Refs, are we ready? All right, let's randomize. All right, we'll be in zone 2. Zone 2. All right, let's get this match underway. Scorekeeper, are we ready? All right. Let's get this match underway in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we have 3 out of 4 robots moving. And looks like another toaster team is going for that preloaded cone. And they just barely miss it. All right, looks like 3 out of 4 robots have parked, ready for our teleop period.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All right, we have all 4 robots moving now. Black Ops gets a cone onto the junction, the first to do so. Blue Alliance is quickly following suit, which they just barely missed that high junction. Red Alliance gets another cone onto the high junction. Blue Alliance gets their first cone on a junction. Black Ops just barely misses their cone on the low junction there. Blue Alliance gets another one on the high junction. And we have 4 teams scoring 4 cones on 2 junctions. 2 high junctions, 1 middle and 1 low. Blue Alliance is quickly following that up by another cone onto that high junction there. Toaster Strudel is going to steal a junction from Red Alliance. All right. Red Alliance gets another junction. Blue Alliance gets another cone onto that high junction there. Toaster Strudel is looking to capture a medium junction, which they do. And Blue Alliance gets a cone into their terminal. Black Ops gets another cone onto that mid junction, as well as Blue Alliance getting a cone onto that low junction. And we're now in endgame. All right, and Blue Alliance has a cone in their grasp, and it looks like it just was knocked loose. Black Ops is the first to get a cone, their beacon out, and same with their teammate. And that's the end of the match. All right, and while we're getting our Field 2 set up, let's look at our scores from our previous match. Match number 2. And looks like Red Alliance wins 194 to 172, a close game. Congratulations, both teams. All right, now let's introduce, and just as a reminder, this will be our last match before lunch. Our lunch will be a little bit shorter to try and keep us on time, so make sure that you have your robots ready to go after lunch. All right, so just as a reminder, our first match after lunch, which will be qualification match number 5, will start at 1:15. So please make sure that you have your team ready before 1:15 if you're in qualification match number 5 or 6. All right, and now we'll move back over here to Field 2, and let's introduce our teams. On Red Alliance, we have 19389. And their teammate, 16927. On Blue Alliance, we have 10533. And their teammate, 5667. All right, and while we're waiting for this match to get fully set up, we're also going to look at our scores from qualification match number 3. And looks like it's a Red Alliance victory, 130 to 83. Good job, both teams. All right. Blue Alliance, are we ready? Red Alliance, are we ready? Thumbs up. All right, refs, are we ready? All right, let's randomize. All right, let's randomize. All right, we'll be in zone 2 again. I guess we're going to be in zone 2 for our first 4 matches. All right, let's get this match underway. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, looks like we have 3 out of 4 robots moving. Angry Aliens has parked in their corner terminal. And looks like RoboMiners knocked over their cone stack.
Drivers,
All
pick up your
right, now we're
controllers.
heading into teleop.
3, 2, 1.
All right, looks like we see all 4 robots moving. Blue Alliance and Red Alliance picks up a cone simultaneously. Blue Alliance is the first to get a cone up onto that high junction. Red Alliance immediately follows after with a cone on that medium junction. Blue Alliance gets another one onto that high junction. And Angry Aliens is trying to get some cones off that cone stack. Blue Alliance gets a cone onto their mid junction. Red Alliance has a cone and they're going for that medium junction there, which they just missed. Meanwhile, RoboMiners gets a cone onto the medium junction and just misses their cone on the high junction. Blue Alliance gets another cone onto a low junction. And Red Alliance just accidentally drops a cone. Blue Alliance gets another junction and another one as well. So 1 on medium and 1 on high. Blue Alliance gets a cone into their corner junction. And Blue Alliance gets another cone onto that high junction there and follows up with another one. They also scored a cone onto the ground junction. And we're now in endgame. And teams are now introducing their capping elements called beacons. Blue Alliance is the first to carry theirs out, which they go to score onto the opposite side of the field on that high junction, which they do. Blue Alliance's partner also gets another beacon onto that medium junction, and that's the end of the match. Good job, both teams. We'll have our scores posted shortly, but just as a reminder, we're now going to be heading into lunch. And remember to be back here before 1:15 if you're in qualification match number 5 or 6. All right, looks like our scores for qualification match number 4 are in. Let's see them. And looks like Blue Alliance wins 173-33. Congratulations, both teams. Just as another reminder, please be back here at 1:15 if you are before that, if you are in qualification match number 5 or 6. So please be back here early so that way we can be on time.